Hello everyone, I want to welcome you to History 50, and I want to take this time to introduce you how to, or explain to you how the class is structured on a week-to-week basis. I know that some people could find online courses a bit remote and they can get lost. So what I try to do is I try to create a very consistent structure on a week-to-week basis so you know what to expect. And there are going to be no surprises in that regard. So that's what this video is supposed to do. I'm not really going to get into any content, just structure. So there's no better place to start than the course syllabus, and that's where I am right now. And what I want to do is I want to just jump to the course outline section. And so I'm going to scroll down to page, this is page 7 of the course syllabus right here. And as you can see, I have the things the class worked out week by week. I call them sessions. And over in the far right-hand side, I have the due dates for all of the assignments for that week. So you can see that there's something due every week, and the due dates are on a Sunday. I think with the possible exception of the very final week, we have right here. But let's go back to here. So let's take a look at week 1. I have some assignments due on the 14th. I give you the reading assignment here in the syllabus. So if we go to the course site, here we have the course site, and I scroll down to week 1, or here's topic 1, week 1, right? What you see here, I have a introduction in terms of what we're going to be covering in terms of subject matter, and a weekly checklist that tells you all of the things that you have to complete. And then what we see here is I have one of the assignments, graded assignments, is a video question. So there's several of these video questions. And what a video question will show you is it will show you a video, and then you have to answer one question related to that video to get credit. Now, the questions are not designed to be difficult. They're just designed to make sure that you've watched the video in its entirety, because the video complements the subject matter in the textbook. And that is for credit. Now, let me tell you something very important about these video questions. There are 2 buttons that you have to push in order to receive credit. There's a submit button, and most students think that once they hit submit that they're done. That's not true. There's also a button that says continue. You've got to hit that continue button in order for it to receive credit. So what I want you to do every week when you answer a video question, just make sure that if you answered it correctly, that it shows up in the gradebook. If it does not show up in your gradebook, that simply means you did not hit the continue button after you hit it submit. So first submit, then continue. And then every week there is a discussion thread. Now let me tell you about the discussion thread. All of the discussion threads require you to have 2 posts in that week to receive credit. One post is you responding to the topic that I posed for that week. And the second post is your response to a fellow student's post. So let me be very clear. In order to receive credit for a discussion thread, you've got to make 2 posts. If you make 1 post, no matter how thorough it is, you're not going to receive credit. 2 posts. Another thing about this, the discussion threads, please don't wait to the last minute in terms of the due date to post, because when you do that, it makes it very difficult for your fellow students to make comments on your post. So engage the discussion threads well before the due date. And then every other week, I have a weekly quiz. That's about 10 questions based upon either the textbook reading or the video questions. And that's 10 questions. Now, these questions are not timed. In other words, you could start and stop these questions throughout the week, as long as you complete it before the due date. Now, when the due date happens, the system will simply take your last saved set of questions as your submission. And then after the due date passes, you can review the questions that you got right, you got wrong, and ask any questions to me if anything is unclear. The other thing is midway through the course, week 8, let me scroll there, we have a midterm essay. So just be aware of that. And that's going to be submitted in through Turnitin right here. And I tell you exactly what the topic is. And then there is a final essay at the end of the class, as well as a final exam. So there's 2 things that you have to, the final exam is a final exam essay. And don't ignore this date, I haven't updated that yet. But that's how things work on a week-to-week basis. So there's something you do every week. There are some video questions. There's always a discussion thread. And every other week, there is a quiz. Now, what I want you to do is I want to encourage you to email me if you have any questions about the subject matter. Think of email as the equivalent of you raising your hand in class. Some people don't like to raise their hands in classes, but the interaction that you get from me is most direct when you email me. I'm going to be scheduling from time to time some video office hours, but you don't have to wait for those office hours for you to interact with me. So that's how things are structured. If you've got any questions, just email me, and I look forward to interacting with you throughout this term.